And then also what we need to do is we need to set up our color, what we're going to paint this rectangle. So we need to set up a new paint variable, and we're going to call this paint blue. So again, we need to import paint, and we need to set this variable equal to something. We're just going to say new paint, and then we need to say p.blue, p.blue, and then we're going to say set style. So my computer's going to freeze up there. So set style, and we're going to set this equal to we're gonna look in the paint class to see what's available. We're gonna set it to a fill, and to do that, we're just gonna look through paint. And then we're gonna say style dot, and then we have fill stroke. You guys can play with those, just see what's what. But we're gonna use fill because we want the whole background to be filled, and that's the painting style that we're gonna paint. And now what we have to do is we also want to set what color it is. So we're going to say p.blue set color, and again we can look through now the color class and see what colors they have available. We're just going to use blue, and then now we actually draw the rectangle. So we're going to use we're going to add it to the canvas basically. So we're going to say canvas that's being passed in dot draw, and it's going to be draw rectangle. Or draw rect, I should say. And then basically you can look through these. We could have set up all that stuff that we did right here in one line, but this way it's a little bit easier. As you can see, this takes in a rect object for parameter 1 and a paint object for parameter 2. That's what we set up. So as you can see, this is going to be a rect object that we set up right here, CBK, and for a paint object we set up something called pblue. So now basically what it's going to do is it's going to add this rectangle to the canvas, and it's going to be a rectangle that's this big, which is the whole screen, and it's going to paint it this color blue. Alright, now what else do we want? Well, we got our background, which is all blue, which is pretty cool, but it's not that great, especially for animation. If I went to a movie and it was all blue, that'd just be lame. So now we're going to do, we're going to draw our cloud. So we're going to create a new method called whatever we want. I'm just going to call it draw cloud, and basically what it's going to do is we're going to set in the parameters an X value for where the cloud's at, a Y value, and what canvas we want to be painted on. So we're going to call it canvas. First, okay, and then first it's giving me some errors because it's like, hey, I don't know what X is, I don't know what Y is, but I do know what a canvas is. So what we want for these values is going to be integer, and we want to use those integers within our whole Corn Boys class. So I'm going to set up some new variables, int X and Y. So now it's initializing those two variables, and actually we're going to just say int X equals 0 just to start out with, int Y equals 0 as well. So it gives us initial values and what they are. And now this class should recognize it, or this method should recognize what we want. But still doesn't know what this draw cloud method is. So we're going to say we want to create a new method that'll take an int, another int, and a canvas. So we're going to add that, and bam, right there, it adds a new method for us just with what we wanted. And what do we want this method to do? Every time we call in this cloud, it's going to look, every time we call this draw cloud, it's going to shoot down to here and say, hey, I need to figure out what I need to do. Add the cloud object to the canvas. So again, we're just going to say whatever canvas is passed in, and as you can see, this is the new name for the canvas. So it's going to be canvas dot, and then we want to say draw bitmap, and basically we want to do this one. This draw bitmap is going to take a bitmap, left, a top, and a left, a top, and a paint. So there we go. Our bitmap is what we initially called it, defined it up at the beginning of our content. In this constructor up here is whatever our cloud is. So we're going to go call this bitmap cloud. This is what we want drawn. And where do we want it? Where do we want the left value to be? Well, we want it to be wherever our x is, whatever this is at the moment. So we're going to say, and as you can see, it passes in the x variable, and it's just going to rename it x2 just for this little method, so we won't mess up that variable. So we're going to say we want it to be wherever x2 is at, and then for the top we want it to be wherever y2 is. And as for this fourth parameter, it takes a paint object. We don't really have any paint objects besides that paint blue that we set up, so we're just going to hover over this. We're going to say create field variable. What that is going to do is just set up a new object up here called paint from the paint class, and we want to set this equal to just new paint, a new paint object. So there we go. Now we have a paint variable, and it's going to draw a new cloud, or draw a new bitmap to our canvas every time this method's called. So basically what we're going to have to do to get animation is have some kind of loop to go through this onDraw method up here. And we want obviously our x values and our y values to change to get that animation. So what we're going to do is we're going to say just x, whatever x is, it's going to be equal now to x plus 10. So it's going to move 10 pixels to the right every time it loops through here. And you know, that's cool. So now basically what we have to do is we have to get some kind of loop or thread going through here. So basically it's going to read through all this stuff and be like, yeah. Down. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up just a simple kind of loop, and where we're going to check if x is less than, again, canvas dot get width. Since it's moving left to right, if it's less than the width that it's going, then you can move 10 pixels to the right. If it's not, then we're going to say else, and then we're going to say y equals y plus 10. So now it's going to move down 10, and we also want to set x equal back to 0. So it's going to set on the left side of the screen. Alright, so now let's run our application and see if we got it working. And I know going through this tutorial, There's a lot of new stuff, a lot of confusing stuff, and you guys probably don't even know exactly what you did. But we're going to work through some more animation stuff here in the next few tutorials. You guys learned a lot of stuff, a lot of Java, and it probably confuses you. So don't be worried. I just hope that you guys get this working and somewhat get what's going on. So we're going to go down now to our graphics and check it out. Hopefully it works. And it's basically a cloud that goes over, and when it hits end, it moves down. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then also, I just kind of want to show you guys how you can mess around and maybe understand the lesson a little bit better. Since we have this sweet method that draws clouds, we can just say draw cloud at point like 100, 300 or something like that, and then we're going to also set it to the same canvas that we've been working on. And basically now it's going to have another cloud on there. So you guys can just mess around with that and see exactly what that method does, what we set it up to do. But again, thanks for watching and subscribing. Sorry if it's confusing. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll try and work through some of those problems that you guys may be having. Peace, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Later.